Good boy. Well done. That was great. Well done. Well done. Terrific. Well done, Frank. Shouldn't be serving them booze at all, Dennis, you see, because they want to be running to the gents and the ladies then after that, you see, and they're all coming in and going, how are you, love? Now, you are Celine, and you are Pat, and that is Anne. And have we a fourth?
Jim.
No.
Jim.
No. Joy is looking for Jim. The other lady
That's
couldn't
right.
make it.
That's right. You see, he's not wearing
No,
a
see,
That's right. He's not wearing a skirt. That's right. I'm not wearing a skirt.
I'm in disguise.
So now, are you all in the shirt business?
Yes.
And how long have you been in the shirt business?
Well, I've been in it now 38 years.
Get away.
Yes.
And how long for yourself?
Just 20 years.
20 years. Don't be shy. Talk up. What about Anne?
A little over 32 gay, yes.
32 years.
Yes, around that, yes.
And do you all work for the same company?
We did, yes. We're actually, we've known one now just over 30 years, gay. And we're still a friend, and this is still maintained over through the 30 years. We still keep in touch, very much in touch with one another.
Hmm. And do you see each other socially and everything? And
Oh, we do, yes, as often as possible.
Yeah.
As often as
I saw a
possible.
photograph earlier on in one of the books that I was looking up during the week, and the overcrowding in the shirt factory in the old days. I'm sure it's rather improved now.
Oh,
But
yes.
is it?
Oh, very much so.
It is,
yes.
yes. And did you start now straight from school?
I did 14 years old when I started. In those days, the week before you left school, your mother sent you out to buy a pair of scissors and told you started on Wednesdays and Monday. That's the way it was in those days. You just went straight from school into the factories.
You finished school Friday, Monday
Started
morning you were in
working
the shirt
Monday in
factory.
factories, that's right.
And now, was this part of the reason why men generally who were unemployed, the wives all went out to work in Derry? Is that it? That this was the whole tradition? Is that right, Jim?
Yes, that would be it. That's quite correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that went on for years and years and years.
Yes, quite so. I appreciate Phil Coulter's song of
Yeah.
The Town I Love So Well. Like they did depict that particular series or events in the city at that particular time, when he said actually that a woman went to work actually when the factory horn blew, and the men, they took the dogs out to walk it.
And to what extent is that still true now?
Well, I wouldn't just say it's just as bad as that, but as you appreciate what's the present situation in the city, actually the unemployment is very, very bad.
Yeah.
That I think actually with the uptake or the increase in the shirt industry, which has just come to the fore recently, and thank goodness it has actually taken up, that it could turn out the same way again, that the women are going back to do what they done years ago, and that is be the breadwinners for the families and for their own homes.
I see. Well, what would you think of the shirt that I'm wearing? Would you think that's a reasonably good shirt?
Why don't you take off your coat and we'll show you the parts?
I know that's my trade there again. Yeah.
See,
I don't think so. No,
It's not a Derry shirt.
I don't believe it. No. Can I just?
no.
Can
Yes,
I
go
just?
ahead, yes,
Could I?
yes, go
You don't mind if I?
Not at all. No. Strip away, give us all a
I'll take off your
Would you mind-
Is it your cuff?
coat.
That's not our cuff. That's not.
How would you
Derry
know it's
cuff.
not your cuff?
Oh, you've a big massive slip at the back of it. You see, we're not allowed that at all.
You're
The dairy
not allowed
workers
that.
do not have slips in the
I
backs
see.
of their cuff, no.
I see. And what about the collar? That wouldn't be good quality shirt either, would it?
Not really. What about the side? You go have a
I'll
look
give
at the
it-
side, Simon.
About 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Is that all? Marks and Spencers are going to be very angry with you, I can tell you that. They're going to be very angry with you, I can tell you that. You, whatever about your shirt, you've just dirtied your bin. I can tell you. There you are now.
On behalf of the girls of Welsh Margisons, I'd like to give you a shirt and tie. We've made both.
Have you really? Have you really? How about that? It says, chemise et cravate. You never found that in Derry, did you? It's a St. Michael, that.
Yes. Well, that's Marks and Spencer's brand name.
Yes. I see.
We work exclusively for Marks and
Yeah,
Spencer.
so is that.
That's not.
It is so. So it is. You didn't recognize your own.
Prove it. The
Counter chancers, that's what it is.
We haven't seen the label.
The difference is that possibly that may not be a city-made shirt,
A city-made shirt, as distinct from what?
as distinct from, from other makers actually. City-made shirt is just
Bishop,
perfect.
I can do without
Yes.
your comments on the side. Comments like Hong Kong and Shanghai and things like that.
Well, I didn't like to say that.
You didn't like to say it, but you're saying it anyway, that's it. Well, I was going to give you a present now. You've insulted me. I'm not going to give you a present. But thank you very much. You made both the shirt and the tie, did you?
Yes, we The tie, we've only started making ties recently.
That's right, yes. Yeah. Well, now I will wear that with pride and great joy.
Thank
In return for that, I have a little present for you. A shop called La Pâtisserie Française would like to present every mother in the audience with some truffles. Now, I can't give, I haven't got that many under my oxter at the moment. There you are now. I have one of those little truffles for Mother's Day. There you are. There you are. Nell, you can't have one. You're not a mother. Unless, of course, Nell, you want to make an important announcement. There you are. Now, an exchange of presents between Dublin and Derry. Thank you very much for the kind thought. I really appreciate that. Now, what's that?
Derry's the Maiden City, and it'll always remain that
Derry's
way.
the Maiden City.
The Maiden
is it? Yeah.
City.
Well, we better not comment on that, not with the clergy present. Now, Don, where are you, Don? Will you do the needful on your next introduction now, and let us see James and yourself doing your thing. You see, Don is doing a great job tonight. He's playing and singing and introducing
We
and
have a
everything.
dance this time by the McLaughlin Traditional Dancers. It's a dance called the Celtic Cross, and it's been composed for the team by the principal of the school, Mary McLaughlin. So they're All-Ireland Ulster champions, and they're dancing, if they may, the Celtic Cross.
There you are. Well done. Thank you very much indeed. not only cakes from La Patisserie Française in Grafton Street, but for every mother in the audience too, some chocolates from Cadbury's. How about that? Nothing for Eamon McCann. Have a box of chocolates with the compliments of. There you are now. What are you saying, Eamon? We have some more for mothers outside. The mothers outside will come. There you are now. What are you saying, Eamon? What are you saying? What
about potato bread, soda farls?
I can't hear you. What?
Say, what about potato bread, soda farls? I mean, proper food.
Always giving out, always giving out, always giving out. Could we have a welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for Paddy Doherty here in Glen Bar, down this side of the audience, just spotting them now at this very moment, so they are. There you are. Well, good to see you. I want to talk to you for a few minutes, both of you, if I may, please. Can you see me? You can, yes. I have to sit down, too, you see. About the Derry experiment and the Maydown Youth Training Project. How many lads have you each now? Paddy, how many lads have you working to you?
We have about 150 young people and about 75 adults working on a variety of schemes.
Like what? What skills are you teaching them?
Well, the Youth and Community Workshop have a wide variety of activities. Some of them are behind you there, painting, glasswork, there's carpentry, joinery, and a whole variety of skills. But that's not what it's about, of course, you know.
Yes, tell me what it's about.
Well, I'm glad to be with Glen Bar tonight. And can I tell you a story about Glen?
Please do. Can we have a bit of PA on this, Charlie, please?
I was captured by the UDA one time. And they were trying to make up their mind whether they would shoot me or not. And Glen Bar walked in and took me off the hook. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be here with Glen Bar. And I introduced that note of reality just in case the people of this country would think that the northern problem had disappeared and they could go to their bed quietly tonight and forget about it. People are still being brutalised in the north of Ireland.
Indeed. Indeed.
And we need a lot of help to solve that problem. Glen Bar does it in his way, I do it in my way. Whether we will have any effect on the overall political situation is hard to know, but certainly we think that there's a great future for Derry.
Well then tell me what it's about, Paddy.
Well, some years ago, and I started here in Dublin with Ivor Brown and Paddy Wally and Tom Hardiman of the Irish Foundation for Human Development. And they were alerting this country to the fact that within a generation that there would be mass unemployment, that there would be a breakdown of the social fabric, not only of here, but in all of Europe. And they were saying that we're going to have to redefine work, we're going to have to put the human person right into the centre of the stage again. And they were saying that, and of course politicians were condemning them. With respect to politicians, it's always very difficult to enlighten politicians because you can get no more than about 3 years ahead of them. So what happened at that time was I was working in Derry, and we introduced the whole thinking of putting the person in the centre. And we began to get young people and train them in a variety of skills. The emphasis not on the old buildings which you repair, nor on the skills what they do, but it's really an opening up of the person. And basically we believe that the only way that you can develop a person is by getting that person to accept responsibility for themselves. The same for a community, in fact the same for a nation. But every time this nation accepts responsibility for itself, then it'll be a great nation. I don't think it has done that yet, Gray. But I make that a political point very much.
Yes. Now, Glenn, are you on the same kick then as Paddy? Is that, or is there something else?
We're run under the same operation, but we have a slightly different philosophy. Ours is based more on the work ethos. Paddy's is more on the development of the young people. Ours is more in developing them and making them employable. And we go out in a very serious fashion of trying to prepare them for the world of work and trying to put them into a working environment that makes them more attractive to the local employer and therefore brings about full-time employment for them.
And for export?
Well, export in as much as that we believe that we are trying to equip the young people to be able to work anywhere in the world. And that means that we'd much prefer them to at least go out and seek full-time employment somewhere as opposed to stand around the street corners. And that's the philosophy of the workshop.
And what skills are you, first of all, how many have you under your wing?
140.
And what skills are you teaching your gang?
Basically the same traditional type skills as Paddy, only this year we have been awarded an ITech, which is Information Technology Centre. We're the second ITech now in Northern Ireland, and that is developing the young people into the world of technology, computers and electronics, and we are now developing that for another new whole outlook for the young people in the city.
Yes, and Paddy, how is your thing working?
I think it's...
How are you succeeding?
Yeah, well, it's difficult to know how you succeed with young people because what happens inside their heads really is their business. How it comes out at the end of the day, I'm not quite sure. I'm different from Glenn. I don't believe that we should export our young people. I think the richness of this country is in the young people. And I think the future of this country depends on what we can do for them, and I don't think we're doing very much for them at the minute. I think that is a wealth which cannot be replaced. It's very important that we keep our young people here. I think that they should go out and gain experience. But it is succeeding in many ways because we have looked at the old city of Derry. And Derry, of course, is a magnificent city. It's very beautiful. It's one of the few remaining walled cities in the whole of Europe. It's in a beautiful setting, and unfortunately it has allowed history to abuse it. And we would like to think that we should ourselves use history for our own benefit. Therefore, one of the schemes that we have taken is that we have looked at the old city. About 10% of it was dilapidated, was burned, was bombed out, and we decided to rebuild it again. And one of the buildings which we adopted at the time was this building, as you can see.
Just hold that up. Yes, Paddy, if you would, please.
And that's the building as we adopted it.
Yeah, what building is that now?
That's what we call it, the Wool Warren House. It's right in the heart of the centre of Derry.
Yeah.
And that's the building when it's finished, this other one.
Oh, hold them both up, please. Yes. On the left, and on my left, the building as it was when you first started, and on the right, the building as it is now. Well, my goodness me. And that was all done by young lads?
Yes, a mixture of young people and long-term unemployed. And I think that a place like Dublin, which has a lot of dilapidated buildings, should be doing this type of thing.
Yeah.
That's, again, another building which we adopted.
Let's see that. On the left, the old building, yes, just there, yes. And then on the right-hand side, there it is completed. My goodness. My goodness.
When we talk about redefining work, what we say is that there is plenty of work to be done. There may not be enough of jobs around about, but there's no reason why all of the people in this country, and I'm surprised if they're a building labourer or a building tradesman in the whole city of Dublin who is unemployed at this moment in time when there's so much to be done.
And Paddy, who finances you now? Who paid for all of that?
We're financed by a variety of groups, particularly the Northern Ireland office, and 55 pence in every pound that we get comes from Europe. The City Council itself is one of our most magnificent supporters, and we get a tremendous amount of help from them. And in fact, the scheme couldn't operate without the help from the City Council. We do get some money from America, and one of the things that we're doing at the moment, we are trying to reconnect the links between America and ourselves, and we're building a Philadelphia house, a Boston house, and a Minnesota house, and a California house, and people are coming from these places to be part of Derry, because Derry was the main immigration port from the north of Ireland during the time of the famine. And it's said that there is a road of whitened bones from Derry right to the coast of America of people who never made the journey. So what we're doing now is we're encouraging those people to become involved in Derry. And there's no reason why the people of Dublin and the people of Galway and the people of Cork couldn't weigh in behind us and put a bit of money into Derry and do the same thing, because it helps our environment, it creates employment, it creates space for young people to find themselves and work.
And Glenn, who finances you now?
We're financed by the Department of Economic Development under their YTP scheme, and that's 100% grant aided.
So these young lads who do all that work get something every week?
£26.25. And we've got, Paddy's got 6 of his kids here tonight, and there's 6 of them from the Maiden workshop here tonight as well.
Yes. Well, now I wanted to introduce me, Paddy, to the lovely young lady beside you.
Una Green's in charge of our art department, and she is the person responsible.
And you referred to these pictures over here. Sorry, Aidan, or Jerry, who can get to that? Jerry, sorry. Those 3 pictures. Now, who would have done those?
Well, the paintings have been done by some of the trainees, and the stained glass, well, the stained glass was done by Ellen here on the end.
The stained glass on your right there, Jerry.
Yes.
Sorry, just on the right. It really should be backlit to show it properly, but...
It was done by Ellen with the glasses here on the end.
And how long would Ellen be doing stained glass now? Right at the end. Sorry, Ellen. Hello, how long would Ellen be doing stained glass?
Ellen has been working on stained glass for approximately the last 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah. Is that all?
Yes.
From scratch, you mean?
Yes, from scratch.
And the next picture in the middle one?
The next picture, in fact, both of the next 2 paintings have been done by Michael behind me here, Michael Coyle.
How are you doing? And how old is Michael?
17.
17, yeah. And did you paint before, Michael?
No.
Not at all?
No.
And you put those together? I see. And am I reliably informed, probably not, Paddy, that religion and politics are not allowed as discussion subjects while we work?
Oh, yes.
The wrong workshop.
Yeah, well, there's a difference approach. Our workshop is encouraged to discuss it and have debate and argument about it. I think Glenn
But
might...
in Glenn's is verboten.
One other, just before you leave...
Completely verboten, Glenn, is it?
It's not permitted at all. No.
So there's a different approach. We believe that's the way you deal with it, of course.
We
Glenn,
believe that if the politicians and the adults of Northern Ireland can't deal with the political and religious problems, how do you expect 16 and 17, 18-year-olds to deal with it?
Well, you know what happens? There was somebody said a long time ago, unless you become like little children. The politicians. Just one person. There are a group of people that I would need to thank, and that's our trustees, the two bishops, and the former moderator of the Presbyterian Church, and the mayor of the day, and a couple of members of the Northwest Centre are our trustees. They signed the original note for £250,000, which has allowed us to buy the old buildings, and we now have 10 buildings under our belt. 5 are completed, and 5 more are under construction. And when the bishops, I think one of the bishops balked, and I'd say which, at the idea of signing the note, and I said, sure, Bishop, it's a long time since I jailed a bishop in this country for bad debt.
It is indeed. Well done. Well done. Got away with it. Well done. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce our next guest, and of course it is Dana, whom you met earlier on. And before, Dana, would you take your place there ready for singing, because I wanted to make a special announcement for Dana. She tells me just before the show that her dad, Robert, is watching the show in Derry tonight. I trust your mother is watching the show as well. I mean, she wouldn't be looking at something else, would she, by any chance? Of course not. No, anyway, and her dad has not, Robert, has not been too well recently. Nothing serious, and he's doing fine, but he's watching the show tonight and to see his little daughter perform. So, Mr. Brown, we send you our very best regards, and we hope that you will be better very soon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Dana.
As I stand on the ground where you stood, and I walk in your footsteps, I imagine the way that you felt and the thoughts you were thinking. Could you see my face in the crowd, and that I loved you? Told us two was totally yours. Told us two was totally yours. The rock and the lamb, the Lord and the man. Told us two
lads who are doing a lot of driving for our show tonight. There you are, you see. There you are now. Yeah. Very good. There they go. That's what they wanted to do all night. It's the only reason they came, you see. That's the thing. Nell, how are you, Dote? Good to see you. Are you well? You're welcome.
I was never better.
You were never better.
Yeah, without me truffles.
You know everybody. You know everybody here, Nell, do you?
Well, nearly. Sure, if I don't, I should.
Is it true, Nell, that apart from all the things we've ever been told about you, that the most exciting night in your life was the night Dana won the Eurovision Song Contest?
The second most exciting. The other was the night young Spider Kelly took the title. 4 o'clock in the morning, the whole town was wide awake.
Were you there?
Yeah, you passed it over very quickly. It was a great night.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
And then the night,
Yeah.
night Jobby Crossing Joy in Belgian Liège.
Jobby Crossing.
My mother kicked my father in the kitchen and said, I told you football was a good profession, because he was in love with my sister.
24 caps for Ireland that night.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Jobby
I know.
Crossing? Yeah.
We could have married him, my family.
What do you mean he was doing a line with your sister?
Yeah.
Doing a line with your sister?
Yeah, my daddy didn't approve.
Why?
He was only a Derry City footballer. There's no money in football.
No money. Why wouldn't he have thought of you, Nell? Were you not in the offing at all?
I was
no?
10. Your Spider never thought of me either.
And
I've been passed over so often. I'm not bitter. I never liked troubles.
Tell me about the night Spider won the boxing match.
It was very dark. It was very late. We were all woken up. My dad said Spider's fighting.
Yeah.
And we got up and the radio was turned on.
Yeah.
And it was me and my 2 sisters, my 2 brothers.